Hello, I'm Mariana if you're new here. If you're not, welcome back to my channel. Today we are getting into this everyday smoky eye look. And we are doing a mic'd up tutorial session today. I feel like I haven't done this in a while because I haven't. I usually like to do voiceover videos, but I lately have been feeling like they're moving a little bit too fast for me to kind of explain what I'm doing. So I want to give you guys the entire rundown and all of the tips and tricks to actually level up your eyeshadow game. So I'm going to show you exactly how I created this look. I'm going to show you all of the things that you need to know, and hopefully you pick up some stuff apart from just how to create this look. So let's get into it. Welcome to my mic'd up eyeshadow tutorial. I'm going to be kind of like looking over to the side because I'm using my back camera and I want to see what you're seeing so we can make sure that everything is in frame. Okay, so today we are doing an everyday smoky eye. All right, so I'm going to be using like 3 different palettes. Here they are. Okay, so we're going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. Also going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette. I had to like dust her off, all right, because I'm kind of going for like warms but also pinkish. And then we also have the Lancome Starlight Sparkle Shadow palette. I feel like this has like a really good amount of neutrals, and we're going to kind of mix in with all 3 of them. I usually like to just use one palette because it just makes life so much easier. And also, if you don't have any of these palettes, you can literally just use the same shades and create the same look, which is why I don't really emphasize which palette I'm using. And eyeshadow is so easy to kind of recreate with anything that you have. So I'm going to be going in with this shade. It's like a dark brown shade. It's a little bit darker than I would like it to be, but we're going to kind of use it and build it and kind of see if we can get it as light as we want, but also as dark as we want to. Okay, I'm going in with like the lightest hand with a tapered little blending brush on the outer corner, and I'm literally with the lightest amount of pressure going in on the outer corner, and I'm kind of trying to keep it on the lid and not passing the crease too much, because when we blend it out it's going to kind of blow out, so we don't want it to be really dark going toward the brow bone. I also really love to clean out my brushes with this kind of color switch here. You can get this at Sephora or you can get it from Amazon. I love to use like 3 brushes when I'm doing my eyeshadow looks, and I just like take off of the pigment just by wiping it here, and then I can use the same brush to blend it out without adding more pigment. That's just going to keep your eyeshadow a little bit more clean and controlled. So with the clean brush, I'm going in and I'm just going over the edges so that I can blend this out without, again, making it a little bit darker in the areas that I don't want it to be dark. Another reason why I decided to do a mic'd up tutorial is because I feel like the way that I edit the videos, it's a little bit too fast, so I can't really say everything that I want to say and give you all of the really important, juicy eyeshadow tips because everything is just moving really fast. So here I am trying to slow it down for you so that you can actually pick this up and improve your eyeshadow skills. Okay, so I literally just lightly kind of blew the eyeshadow out. I created a little wing and then I just blended out the crease area. So this is what I'm saying. It's going to kind of go where you blend it. So you don't want to make it too dark when it's going up toward the brow bone, because that is how you turn a smoky eye into a really muddy raccoon looking situation. So we can definitely go back in with some dark brown over here and make it darker, but I'm pretty happy with this because I am going for like a natural everyday look. So we're gonna leave this here for now, and we're gonna go in with a transition shade. So I'm going to go ahead and move on over to my Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going in with this orangish shade. This is the shade Raw Sienna. Burnt Orange is a little bit lighter than Raw Sienna, but they are both transition shades, so depending on how warm or orange you want the look to be, you can choose between these 2. It's also really funny how like they barely have a difference, but there are the 2 shades there, so it's like nobody's really gonna notice, but here we are. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take Raw Sienna and I'm going to put it on the crease, and again I like to use my transition shades to kind of extend this eyeshadow wing, and because it's like a transition shade which is not as dark as this dark brown shade, we can kind of get away with making this a little bit longer without it being really harsh. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take the transition shade and stop it right where I stopped the dark brown, because we're kind of going for like an ombre smoky eye look here. So I want to put the pink here, so I'm just going to kind of buff this out and make it nice and blended, going from like dark to light from the lash line to the eyebrow bone. So really lightly and back and forth. I'm just going to add it onto my eye, and then as we get toward the eyebrow bone, I'm going to like release pressure from my hand, from the brush, so we don't put on like this much and get this much pigment and this much darkness up here. I also forgot to mention that I did put some concealer on my eyes as like a primer or like a base. I usually carve out my eyebrows with some LA Pro Girl concealer, and I just take it down on my entire lid. I usually just use concealer to prep or prime my eyes. I don't really use eyeshadow primer because I never decided to buy one. So you can use concealer. If you have primer, do it. That's just going to make sure that the colors are popping as much as possible, and it's going to make your eyeshadow last longer. So we're going in with the Prism palette again, and I'm going in with the shade Eden, which is a really nice pink shade. This one is a little bit more coral, but I kind of want to keep the tone and the color family pretty light and like pink. So going in with the same brush, and I cleaned it off again. I'm going to go ahead and pack that pink right next to that brown and just kind of tap it on. So this I find makes it so much easier to blend whatever shade you're working with in with whatever's next to it, instead of kind of like spreading it around. You just tap it in, and then the edges just kind of blur themselves together. So I'm actually also going to take this pink and drag it a little bit above the crease as well to make it blend in with that transition shade here, because it is kind of like the same lightness or whatever that metric of light is. And then as we get toward the crease and like the middle of the eye, I'm going to release pressure so that we're not taking the same amount of pigment or the same concentration all the way up to the brow bone, because again, we want to do a gradient of dark to light going from here to here. So this is literally pretty much blended just by dabbing it and then releasing pressure, so I didn't really do too much. So I'm pretty happy with this. I can even go in with another layer of the pink to brighten it up a little bit more if you want it to look as like bright and colorful as possible, but that's a really easy way to build the color and make it more pigmented. Or you can use it like a neutral eyeshadow look with just like a simple pop of color just by using one layer. Okay, and we're going in with the Lancome palette. So I'm going to be using this shade Dawn here. They do have a similar shade like this in the Prism palette, but I feel like this is a little bit more warm, and the one in the Prism palette is like a little bit more cool toned and white. So this is a little bit more peachy. Again, we're going for like warm, pinkish, soft, smoky eye. So this I'm going to place right in the inner corner. So the smoky eye that we're kind of doing right now is a gradient going from light to dark. So it's basically just kind of flowing out and like this type of smoky eye. Usually when people think of a smoky eye, it's like completely dark on the lid and then it just kind of blends out. But I feel like this is another version of a smoky eye, and then this is also a really great everyday kind of smoky eye because the smoke is coming from the outer corner. So I'm just packing on this Dawn shade on the inner corner and literally just dabbing it into the edge of that pink. And I feel like these two shades do look really good together, and I'm also going to take it up above the crease because I see like there's like some kind of shine there from my skin and from the concealer, so I'm just going to go ahead and mattify that with the eyeshadow. And again, as we go higher and more toward the brow bone, we're going to release the pressure from the brush so it's not the same consistency or pigment from where we want it to be as pigmented. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in, and I'm going to try to stay away from where we put the pink. We are going to go in and deepen up and add another layer and build up the colors a little bit more. You can definitely leave it like this if you want it to be like an understated, like If you notice, you can see it. So this is perfectly fine. I do like this amount of build, but we are going to go ahead and add a little bit more color just so you can see how pretty it looks. So lastly, I'm going to be taking the shade Sand. It is a little bit more neutral than the Dawn shade. It has a little bit more of like a cool toned lightness to it. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on my brow bone. So this is just going to act as a highlight. I actually thought it would be a little bit lighter than this, but usually the brow bone highlight is just to kind of make your bone structure pop and separate like your eyebrows from whatever's going on the lid with the eyeshadow, to make sure that you don't look like a raccoon and make sure like there's a separation from the dark shadows going on your lid and your eyebrow. So, and it also kind of melts everything together. And it also takes off that shine that you get when you do prime your eyes. So literally just pop that right in there and then just kind of buff out the edges so that it kind of melts in with the shades that we have going on here. So this is what the final look looks like. It's literally done. We're done with the eyeshadow, but I am going to go back in and deepen up the shades because it does look a little bit kind of too neutral for my liking. Again, you can leave it like this if you want, but I'm going to go ahead in with another layer and build everything back up. So I'm going in with that dark brown from the Prism palette. I'm just going to be really, really light and pay a lot of attention to what I'm doing. I'm not really going to go in with as heavy as a hand as I did in the beginning because we don't want to make it like a muddy, unblended mess. And literally just building up the colors that we already have on here. So I'm using the same exact shades that we used in the beginning. And also, if you want to go ahead and take this look a little bit of a more dramatic direction, you can make the outer corner as dark as possible, and then that will literally completely change this look. We're going in with the pink shade, and I'm gonna just pop that on again in this tapping motion, and I'm basically gonna leave like the crease alone and just kind of build the color on the lid. I'll take it a little bit into the crease, but I think like the blending that we did here is pretty fine. And then going back in with the Dawn shade and building that up again. So literally just tapping these shades in and then just buffing out the edges so that everything looks nice and blended. This is the final look. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the eyeshadow wing and make it nice and sharp. So I'm going in with my NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. This is in the shade Medium Olive, which is the same shade that I used underneath my eyes and my under eye area. So I like to clean up my eyeshadow with the same kind of color or the same situation that's going on down here so that it blends nice and seamlessly. And I love doing this step. This is like my favorite part of my eyeshadow looks because it just makes everything look so much cleaner. Also, if you do your eyeshadow on both eyes and you find that it looks a little bit unsymmetrical, this will literally hide that. As long as these two wings are like the same direction and the same kind of look. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out with a really, really light hand since my whole face is kind of done already. So I did set this with powder and everything. So don't be afraid to go back in with some concealer if you have to over powder, because makeup is makeup and there are no rules. So this is what the final look looks like. Let me know if you would classify this as a smoky eye. I do, but I'm also going to go ahead and add some lashes. We're not doing any liner. I haven't really done liner in a long time. It's not really something that I reach for recently, but I'm going to go ahead and add mascara and lashes, but I'm going to do this eye first and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished the other eye and this is what we're going with. So I'm going in with some mascara. This is the Il Makiage Icon mascara and this is the wand. So I'm gonna go in with a couple layers of mascara on the top lashes. So I usually like to leave my lower lash line bare when I'm going for an everyday eyeshadow look, because I feel like when you do something on the top also with like some really cute lashes or like a heavy hand with your mascara and you really go in on your eyelashes, I feel like it looks really, really cute. It gives me like a doll kind of look instead of like a snatched eyeshadow look with the liner on the waterline. And I just really like how that looks like on me, but definitely go for what you're going for or whatever you feel best and comfortable with. So I'm actually not going to be adding anything to the lower lash line. I do actually have to go out today, so this is me for the day. So this is my eyelashes with 2 coats of mascara. Honestly, this is not my favorite mascara. I really love the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara because it adds a lot of volume to my lashes in the like base of the lash line so that it looks thick there and then it flares out really nicely. I also really love the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. The Mascara Gate mascara is actually a really good mascara. And I do actually have a lot of lashes or natural lashes to work with, so those are my favorites. But this is what it looks like with just the mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye, and then we're gonna pop on some lashes, and you can tell me which one you like better. Okay, so this is me with mascara on both eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some lashes. These are the Dream Big lashes from the brand Bold Face Cosmetics, and I'm using the Lily Lashes Lash Glue. So I'm actually going to put these underneath my lash line. I have a full tutorial of this if you want to go check that out. Usually this is like very annoying because it doesn't do what you want it to the first time most times. So the key to putting on eyelashes is to have patience, especially if you're doing it like this. I just feel like this is going to kind of go with that whole theme of a natural everyday look, so that's why I kind of don't want to put it on the top. And what people are doing nowadays is using like lash clusters and putting them underneath their lash line to give them like DIY lash extensions, which is really cute, but I'm going in with a strip lash to make my life easier. Although this is not that easy. But again, we need to have patience. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Here we go. I actually don't have a lot of lash clusters right now, so this is what we're doing. I'm happy with it. Also want to mention that if you are doing an underneath the lash line eyelash look, then you want to make sure that you tightline or line your tightline with eyeliner so you can kind of make the band more invisible. Also, if you're just wearing mascara, you can do this as well. So this will kind of like thicken up your lash line or create the illusion that there's a lot going on toward like the lash line. So this is the difference. If you can see, like this is without the tight line lined. This is with the lashes and the tight line lined. So let me know which one you like better, if you like the mascara side better, or if you like the lashes natural underneath the lash line, all of the things we just did better. I always love some thick lashes, so I like both of them. It depends on what I'm going for and where I'm going. So I would definitely wear this throughout the day and then maybe pop on the lashes later on to kind of switch it from day to night and add a little bit more drama. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and we're gonna come back with the final look. All right, and here is the final look. This is what we are working with, and this is this natural look in its final form. So again, please let me know if you like the mascara only or if you do like this lash look and how you feel about this smoky eye. I really like this type of like 3 eyeshadow smoky eye look for an everyday smoky eye, and you can literally use this technique with any like color family, color palette, shades that you like. You can make it a little bit more dramatic by adding like more darkness to the outer corner, and you can also like replace the middle shade with a shimmer shade or both lighter shades with shimmer shades. You can do anything with this technique. So I really like how it came out. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know if you like these types of videos, the mic'd up tutorials. I know it's going to be a little bit longer than my normal voiceover videos, but let me know what you think again. That is it for me. Please go ahead and like this video if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Also, if you have any other video suggestions you'd like to see from me, please feel free to DM me on Instagram any inspiration pics that I can try to recreate and kind of walk you through. Go ahead and follow me on all of my socials, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.